guys, it's Jessii Vee, and as you can tell by the title of today's video, today we're going to be talking about Spirit Halloween, a place that I hope all of you have been to at least once. I go every single year. I always can't wait to just be inside Spirit Halloween. So I'm going to be telling you a creepy story about something that happened within the store one night after closing time, and then a ghost story from one of the employees who work there. Before we get started though, yes, I'm currently wearing a Jessii Vee Halloween shirt, of course. I designed this last fall and it's still on our website. It's actually on sale. I love the skeleton heart hands, and if you guys would like one, I have linked it down below. Green has been like my favorite color over the past year. I don't know why, but I just love this vibe. Also, you know how we have that ginormous pumpkin squishy plushie thing on our website? We have another one, except this one is a spider, and look at his little spider arms. He's so cute. And I love how sparkly the eyes are. And yes, this one is just as squishy. Look, it can be pulled and squished, and like, I just absolutely love him. So if you would like a spider or a pumpkin, it is linked down below. Wait, look how cute this selfie would be if I just like took one right now like this. I'm crazy. Okay, so let's talk about Spirit Halloween. Spirit Halloween is a seasonal retailer that supplies Halloween decorations, costumes, props, and accessories. It was founded in 1983, and today there's over 1,000 locations across the United States and Canada. I remember as a kid being so afraid to walk into one of these stores, especially because I was so scared of the animatronics. The ones that stay completely still until you walk past them and they suddenly like burst out at you. Those messed me up as a kid. I have never been good with jump scares, but now as an adult, I cannot wait until one opens near me every single fall. I'm like waiting, counting down the days. Oh, but speaking of animatronics and Halloween decorations, don't forget about the Halloween event that I am hosting on October 23rd. We are almost completely sold out of tickets for the afternoon event. I think we have only 2 more tickets left, but there are still some left for the morning event. It is going to be so much fun, guys. We're going to be having a Halloween feast. There's going to be trick-or-treat stations. We're turning one of the rooms in the warehouse into a haunted house. There's obviously a meet and greet. There's so much going on. It's a costume party. So if you guys would like a ticket, I have linked it down below in the description. Okay, so this very first story is called Movement in the Dark. I found this creepy story about 2 employees that were closing down the store for the night at 10 p.m. They went around the store fixing all of the merchandise on the shelves, tidying, sweeping the floors, cleaning the bathrooms, and then finally turning off all of the animatronics and the lights. They both then walked up to the front doors and just looked around at everything to make sure all was good before they locked up. Just as they began to turn around to leave the store, they heard this noise coming from the other side of the store. It sounded like something had fallen off a shelf or had been knocked over. So one of them decided that they would have to go and take a look. They carefully made their way through the dark store, only the dim emergency lights on the walls lighting their way. They came up to the section of the store that had all of the animatronics, and they stopped and looked around, looking at all of the creepy monsters and clowns that had been turned off and unplugged. Their silhouettes just stood there as if frozen in time. This story actually kind of reminds me of the Wax Museum story that I talked about, when you just see a group of silhouettes in the dark and it looks like the room is full of like people standing there, but no, it's just animatronics. But that's when the employees saw one of the animatronics move at the very back. Its arms were like moving back and forth very slowly, but it wasn't making a sound. And the employee didn't recognize this specific animatronic. It was like she had never seen it before, or maybe it was just too dark in the store to really see what it was. They said it kind of looked like a scarecrow animatronic or something. Something with very baggy clothes and had arms and legs. So they called for their coworker to turn on the light so they can analyze the situation and unplug this very last animatronic that they forgot to turn off. But as soon as light filled the room, the employee could see that it was not an animatronic that they had left turned on, but instead a man holding a knife out in front of him. And that's why the arms were like moving, because he was like threatening this girl in the dark and she couldn't even see him properly. So the employee ran to the front door, called the police, and once they arrived, it took them an entire hour to find him in the store because it was such a big place and he kept finding hiding spots. This is just so creepy to me. This also reminds me of the Chuck E. Cheese story where the employees were closing down the restaurant and they thought one of the animatronics animatronics were still moving, but it was actually a guy hiding behind them. I hate this kind of thing, and I'm not sure if this story is just like a creepypasta or something that really happened, but either way, it is so creepy. And then what I found interesting during my research for this video is that on the actual Spirit Halloween website, they have this whole page of ghost stories told by their actual employees. And I found this one called 1971 Jane Doe, and this was told by one of their employees named Tara. Tara said that her house was built in the 2000s, and before the construction, nothing was there. It was just this large wooded area. There was this one night after her husband had had surgery that he got home late and decided to sleep on the couch in the playroom. Well, around 12:30 a.m., Tara woke up and saw her husband just standing at the side of her bed. He was holding his pillow over his chest and looking like he had just seen a ghost. Like, he looked terrified standing there. She asked him what was wrong, and he said,
"Something just tried to suffocate me. There was this girl sitting on my chest with her hands around my neck and I couldn't breathe."
So she told him to just get into bed and try and sleep it off. Maybe it was a bad dream. But even later that night, he felt this cold hand on his shoulder and once again woke up Tara, told her about it. I mean, he was clearly being bothered by something. At breakfast the next morning, his daughter told him about this girl who sits on the edge of her bed every night and watches her sleep. He hadn't even told her about the encounter that he had just had the previous night. She brought this up on her own, and it was a very creepy coincidence. So he asked her what this ghost had looked like, and his daughter began to describe a girl that very closely resembled the one that was choking him in his sleep. So after this Spirit Halloween employee told this story to all of her coworkers, another employee named Lauren decided to do her own research to see if she could uncover the history of Tara's house, to see what was actually going on here with this ghost they had. She stumbled across this article about 3 men who were hunting in the woods in 1971 and found the body of a young girl. She had clearly been strangled, and based on the coordinates of where these hunters were, they were basically on the street where Tara's house is found. So this would have happened long before the construction of her house. And apparently this case had never actually been solved. So clearly this is a very hurt and angry spirit living in their house. Anyways, guys, I found both of those stories to be so creepy. And there's actually like a whole page, I think of like 12 ghost stories from employees. So if you want me to do another video talking about those, I definitely can. Give this video a thumbs up and let me know. But don't forget, if you would like any of our big plushies, squishies, or if you would like to get a ticket to my Halloween event, I have linked everything down below in the description. But I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!